Hello and welcome to another video. In today's video we are going to be looking at what I think personally this game's next DLC would be. Now obviously we have just seen the Dominion Malta expansion, which should be really cool. Really looking forward to that DLC, especially the fact that some of the variants, not just like are now going to have like the Giga 2022 variant is now going to have its own like patterns and skins. The Iguanodon will have its own patterns and skins and stuff. Should be really cool. But this DLC is what I think the next DLC might be. Now this is not confirmation in any way. Want to point that out. I do not know if this will happen or not. It probably won't. But this would be, I think, a good idea for a DLC. So, what the DLC I'm talking about here is a non-dinosaur terrestrial DLC. Now, I'm gonna pretty much quickly tell you guys 8 creatures which I think have the possibilities to make it into this DLC. Now, the first one is the poster sutures. Now that one, it's kind of a big, well-known named one. So I would say it's be very unlikely we won't see poster sutures in the game at some point, and I could see it coming in like a non-dinosaur DLC. The second one I would put, and this one's a much more of a interesting idea, but I think the Facile Sutures is a really good idea. Oh, by the way, this isn't, I shouldn't have said terrestrial. This is not a terrestrial one. This is also, like, including, it's pretty much just not, like, marine, it's, like, no marine reptiles, when they'll be, like, aquatics, whatever. The second would be Facile Sutures. And now the Facile Sutures is, even at the lowest estimate, is still the largest known terrestrial carnivore that wasn't a dinosaur. And our max size could have reached about 10 meters long, and the lower estimates put it about 8 meters long, which is still massive. And I think it would be a really cool pick to add, to have a really massive one, because Post Sutures was big, but it wasn't like massive, Now, third one is the Megalodon. Now, I don't know if anyone remembers, but there was a little bit of speculation Megalodon might be coming into the game in the post kind of leaks during the first game, because everyone saw the Tylosaur fin and thought it was the Megalodon's fin. In actuality, it was just the Tylosaur fin. But still, I think Megalodon would be weird if it doesn't eventually come to the game, considering how Frontier's doing more and more non-dinosaur and non-like marine reptile kind of stuff. I think it's only a matter of time before we get the first non-marine reptile in a lagoon. Number 4 is a bit of a questionable one in some regards, but I am going to put the Lotosaurus. Now, the Lotosaurus is a very interesting creature from the Triassic, who I think would really, really be a cool pick for a DLC. And by the way, once I've gone over the 8, I will tell you what I think the 4, because Frontier always does 4. I think Lotosaurus would be like the good herbivore of the group. It's a really freaking unique looking one. It's Aurora Suchian. I think it's by far the only Aurora Suchian of that group to be a herbivore, which is pretty freaking cool. And yeah, I think it would be a really, really, really good pick. Now, this DLC I want to point out is assuming that the Smilodon and stuff and the Novasaur and stuff will get added to the game at some point, and like a Camp Cretaceous extension pack, whatever. I don't freaking care. But number 5, and this one's probably a shot in the dark, but I am gonna say Parasitotherium. I know it has another name, so I could be wrong, and this one might not be used anymore. But I do think that the biggest mammal ever should eventually make it into the game. Don't get me wrong, in comparison to like a sauropod, it really wasn't that big, but it's still massive. At 8 meters long, I think is the current, maybe it's a bit bigger, a bit shorter. It would be a really kind of cool creature to have in the game. I know a lot of people would like to see it, especially me. I just think it'd be a really interesting creature to add to the game. That's number 5. So number 6 is the Basilosaurus. Now, the Basilosaurus I think would be a interchangeable one with the Megalodon, but the Basilosaurus was such a freaking cool animal. It was a whale that existed. I think it was ter, 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 tertiary. I can't remember what period, maybe like Paleogene or something. Um, but yeah, Basilosaurus is obviously a really well-known one and really cool. It was in the Walking with Dinosaurs aquatic one, which is really cool. Yeah, I think it would be a really freaking cool pick. Now that's 6. 7 is the Megatherium. Now the Megatherium, I know a certain sloth, a certain YouTuber who likes sloths would be very happy about that. But I actually do think Megatherium is a really good shout because it will come if it ever comes to the game. It will come with a bunch of unique animations. It's got those claws. It's found out, I think, as far as I'm aware, to be a total herbivore, which is makes sense. And yeah, I think it should be a really interesting pick, which I just can't see not getting added. If I'm honest with you, because he's like a really, really well-known creature, especially in the paleo community right now, and really been for a while now. And then the final creature that we are going to be talking about today, drumroll please, is the Arizonosaurus. Sorry, I took a little break there because I forgot. I have this I pretty much I have put on work. I forgot. The Arizonosaurus would be a really freaking cool pick. So if anyone knows, is anyone familiar with the Arizonosaurus? I think it's an arc. It's like it was a Rorasuchian again from the Triassic, and it was pretty distinctive because it had a sail on the back of it. And I think that would just be a really cool kind of creature to add. And it would it'd be a bit, it'd be like, kind of another interchangeable one with the Dimetrodon, but, obviously it's different. Now, we've said all of those ones. Which do I think have the likeliest chance of that making that 4? So, I'll be honest with you, I think the 4 will contain, for the aquatic Megalodon, but I say every chance Basilosaur makes it instead. For like the kind of carnivore, I think Postosuchus is a no-brainer. But I also think maybe Arizonosaurus or perhaps Fascilosuchus might sneak in there. I also think Lotosaurus is a really good shout. And finally, for the last creature, I think that could make it in the pack, out of everything I have said, I personally think that um, the one I'm gonna say here, I've just realised I did not point out. The one I think that will make it into this DLC as the final one. Oh wait, no, I have. Sorry, I thought I hadn't. It's the Megatherium. I think that is a no-brainer. I think it's going to be a really unique creature that would just add a lot. I was thinking about putting Glyptodon on the possibilities, but I think it might. I think it's a really good shout. I think the issue is that there's more recognizable names. Anyway, that will conclude today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Have yourself a fantastic day. It's been Pastor's Appreciation, signing out.